Okay, video 3. So this is all about proportions, goes with section 5.2, and most of this section, most of these quiz questions, most of your practice is yes or no answers. We're asking, are these proportional? And your answer will be a yes or a no. So that's our target. Can you determine if two ratios form a proportion? Okay. So what is a proportion? Well, a proportion is an equation stating that two ratios are equal. Equations have equal signs, and we're looking to see if those two ratios are equal. So I'm going to put over here a fraction equal to another fraction. Okay, let me give you an example. If I say 3/6 is equal to 1/2, this ratio, or fraction, is equal to this ratio, or fraction. So, yes, because these are equal, 3/6 is proportional to 1/2. Okay? This is a proportion. One ratio equal to another ratio is a proportion, right? And if they are equal, then we say they are proportional. When two ratios are equal, they are proportional. And we can write them as a proportion. Okay, so our job today is to determine if two ratios are equal. That's how we get our yes or no. So there's 5 strategies we're going to go over. We're covering 5 different ways to do this because some are better on different types of questions. And you get to pick what strategy works best for you or works best for that particular question. So, number 1. We can simplify both ratios. If they're easy fractions or easy ratios to simplify, we can simplify them both and see if they're equal. And we'll do examples of all of these. We can find cross products. That's a favorite one, especially if the numbers are ugly and we get to use a calculator. Cross products are great. See if the cross products are equal. We can divide them both. Again, handy if you have a calculator and you just type it in quick and divide and see if they're equal. We can use arrows to scale up or scale down and see if the arrows match. This is good for mental math. If it's easy multiplication facts, that's quick to do. And then sometimes it's just obvious. You can mentally check and see if they're the same or check and see if they're equal or not. So we're going to do a couple examples of each type. Here's method 1. We said simplify them both and see if they're equal. So I have pretty decent numbers here to simplify. First example says you eat 16 apples in 12 days. So 16 apples in 12 days, written as a ratio that way. Your friend takes 14 days to eat 21 apples. Tricky part here is just making sure we get everything lined up. Okay? So apples, apples. Days, days. You must check that your labels are lined up. Apples, apples. Days, days. If you have your labels crisscrossed, then this is not going to work. Okay? All right, so simplify them both. Let's see, I can divide by 4 here, and I get 4/3. I can divide by 7 here, and I get 3/2. Well, 4/3 and 3/2 are not equal. So my answer is no, these are not proportional. They don't make a proportion. Those two ratios are not equivalent. Okay? How about this one? Again, easy numbers to simplify. Let's divide by 4 and let's divide by 9. 2/3 is equal to 2/3. So this answer is yes. This original equation is proportional. 8/12 is proportional to 18/27 because they're equivalent, right? So that is a yes. Okay, how about here? I'm going to check all of these ratios. So 2/6, 5/15, 9/27, 10/30. All of these simplify to 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. If they all simplify to the same thing, your answer is yes. This table is all proportional. I checked all of these ratios and they all simplify to the same thing. Your answer is yes. Okay? So, if they simplify to the same thing and they are equal, you get yes. If they simplify to different things, you get no. Let's move on to the method 2, finding cross products. Again, you're checking to see if the cross products are equal, and that will tell you your yes or no. I have a note here, make sure your labels are lined up. What we said up here, the labels need to be lined up either horizontally, like they are here, from side to side, apples, apples, days, days, or vertically. Right? I could do, in that previous example, I could have done apples and apples and days, and then they're lined up this way. That would also work. We just can't have them crisscrossed. Okay, so for any of these methods, as you're setting up your proportions to check, make sure labels are lined up. Okay, so you swim 4 laps in 6 minutes. 4 laps in 6 minutes. Your friend swims for 8 minutes. So again, I'm careful here lining up my labels. Minutes on the bottom, and goes 6 laps. Now, could I simplify? Sure, but we're going to show you cross products. So that means I'm going to multiply 6 times 6. And I'm going to multiply 4 times 8, 32. And 32 is not equal to 36. So my cross products are not equal, which makes my answer no. These are not proportional. Okay? Let's try another one. So on to the next page. You can do 40 push-ups in 2 minutes. 40 push-ups in 2 minutes. Your friend can do 60 push-ups in 3 minutes. Are these proportional? It's a yes or no. So let's do our cross products. 2 times 60 is 120. And 40 times 3 is 120. And if those two cross products are equal, then your answer is yes. They are proportional. Okay? Here's one where I would probably use a calculator. Right? I'm not going to simplify that, or they already are maybe simplified, but if I'm not sure, it would be quick and easy to put them into a calculator. 17 times 42, 714, and 14 times 51, 714, and if those two cross products are equal, your answer is yes. Okay? Oh, we got one more. Pause, and you try this one. I want you to actually do this with labels. You set it up, make sure your labels are lined up, and then use cross products to check. Calculators are fine. Okay, I cannot stress enough how important it is to label everything and double check that your labels are lined up. Laps over minutes, laps over minutes. Then you can go ahead and do your cross products. So 1.5 times 24 and 3 times 12. And if those two cross products are equal, your answer is yes. These two ratios are proportional. Yes, this makes a proportion. Okay? That's method 2. Let's go on to method 3. Okay, let's start here. I have a ratio or a fraction this way, and 4/9. I'm simply going to type that into my calculator and divide. 3 divided by 7, 0.428. 4 divided by 9, 0.4 repeating. Clearly those are not the same. My answer is no. 3/7 is not proportional to 4/9. Or here, I could try to simplify them. I could do cross products, yes, or this strategy says just divide. So 16 divided by 12, 1.3 repeating. 26 divided by 22, 1.18 repeating. If those are not equal, your answer is no. Okay, just another strategy, just as quick and easy if I have a calculator. Let's try this one. Pages and minutes, pages and minutes. So I'm scanning the problem first and noticing that I have pages, minutes, minutes. Okay, and then I'll set it up. So 20 pages in 25 minutes, 36 pages in 45 minutes, and then I'll just divide and see what I get. 20 divided by 25 is 0.8. 36 divided by 45 is 0.8. So in both of these cases, I read 0.8 pages per minute, and since they're equal, my answer is yes. Okay. All right. Method number 4, what I call easy arrows. Do the arrows match? And again, that will tell you your yes or no. All right. So when they're very basic numbers, and we probably have multiplication facts, quick and easy multiplication facts that might jump out at you, then we're going to check to see if the arrows match. Here's what that looks like. I notice right here that 4 times 3 would give me 12. So I want to check and see if this arrow matches. 5 times 3 gives me 15. If those two arrows match, my answer is yes. Okay? My arrows could also go this way. 9 times 3 is 27. 12 times 3 is not 35. So therefore, these arrows do not match because this didn't work out. So my answer is no. Okay? So I can do that in a table as well. Probably easiest to look and see if there's something easy to multiply this way. 2 times 6 is 12. 4 times 6 is 24. Let's keep going and make sure all of these arrows match. 5 times 6, no, is not 45. So you need to actually check every line in a table, and if you find one that doesn't work, your answer is no. Okay? Again, it doesn't matter which way, but if you see an easy arrow, divide by -8. Divide by -8. Divide by -8. Divide by -8. If it works for every single row in your table, then your answer is yes. So here my arrow was to divide by -8 each time, and they all matched. So that's a yes. Our final strategy is just mental math. Can you look at them and tell if they're equal or not? Okay. I like to think of like, oh, this is about 1/2, but less than 1/2, right? 15 over 30 would be 1/2. 25 over 40, that's more than 1/2. So clearly they're not equal. 8 out of 20 and 4 out of 10. Yeah, those are both pretty close. Those are equal. If I simplify this quickly, great. I can see that they would give me the same thing. 5 out of 10, 50 out of 100. 1/2, 1/2. They're going to be equal. That's a yes. More than 1/2, way less than 1/2. If it's something where you can quickly see that they're not equal, then you get a no. They're not proportional. Okay? So sometimes it's obvious enough that you can just look and tell. Let's look at the next page. There are 5 questions here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't care which strategy you pick, but pause it here, do those 5, decide if it's a yes or a no, so 5 yes or no answers, and then hit play when you're ready to check. Okay, whatever strategy you used, these simplify to the same thing, or divide to the same thing, yes. These do not, no. These are clearly not the same. I have an improper fraction and a regular fraction, definitely not equal. These do simplify to the same thing, or give you the same decimal when you divide. And here I chose to use easy arrows because I noticed each time it was just multiplying by 12. Okay, so you can go back and forth. Again, some strategies work better for some problems, or just pick a strategy that you like and stick with that. All right, thanks.